I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Malav Keen, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is the Social Hour. I am Deece. Welcome back to another episode. Thanks for hanging out, guys. As usual, if you like what you hear, like what you see, tell a friend, let them know, rate us on your favorite podcast listening device or whatever you're doing out there. We appreciate it. It helps grow the show and let people know what you're doing these days. So we appreciate it, guys. As usual, go to deececomedy.com. Check out everything going on across the network, live shows, live dates coming up quick. If you are listening to this the day it comes out on audio format, I will be at LOL Comedy Club, San Antonio's premier comedy club, tomorrow night. That is the 24th of July. My first time performing at LOL, so I'm excited to get in with them. They are one of the improv clubs across the nation, so that is big. I've always been wanting to perform for those clubs and finally get a chance to do that. So if you're in San Antonio, come up for that. And my Summer Pacific Northwest tour is kicking off in August, guys. Got a ton of dates around Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and more. So go to deececomedy.com. Check out all the dates on the calendar. The where I will be. Tickets are going fast for a lot of those, especially some of the ones in Yakima. Those tend to sell out fast because my fellow Browns are out there holding Yakima down. Love to come through Central Washington and tickle the funny bones of the migrant workers that haven't been hauled away by ICE yet. So come check out Yakima while there's still ethnicity there. And also the next THC show at Upstage Comedy Lounge is August 10th. So make sure you mark that on your calendar. Those tickets go very quickly. So get your tickets to that. And shout out to our sponsor, Happy Chameleon, here in San Antonio, making sure that San Antonio is still happy. But now that Governor Abbott decided not to outlaw marijuana in our fine state. That's a lot of tax dollars they'd be leaving on the table. Come on. You want to just pass that off to the cartels? Let's pretend we're going to give it to the schools or some shit. We'll just spend it on guns. And also check out the Kickstarter for Kill Stand number 3. That's still running, guys. That'll be out for another couple weeks. So go get that. Is you can find the link on our website, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Lots of cool exclusives, covers, variants, and more. We've got a CGC sign 9.8 gold label edition of number 1 available for you too. There's only one of those, so get that before someone else grabs it and it is gone. We are going to be at a couple shows the next few weeks also with Kill Stan on August 10th. I'll be at the NTX show in Frisco, Texas. Jim Lee's going to be there. I'm going to pretend like you're there to see me. You'll probably be there to see Jim Lee. So will I. But stop by the Inferno booth. Also, it is, what is this thing called? It is the Latino Comic Con in Dallas, or the Texas Latino Comic Con in Dallas on August 9th. And then I'll be at the Tri-City Powerhouse Convention in Pasco, Washington, the 16th and 17th. I'm going to be a featured guest at the Del Rio Comic Con on September 6th and 7th, and lots more stuff coming out after that. So just check the calendar, go to inferno.earth and the Instagram page for all that information and more. And that's it for the announcements today, guys. We are going to get into it with our guest. You've heard her here before. You've heard her on the Madness Entertainment Network. She's got her show, a couple shows over there, and a comic book coming out, number 7 of her series, Path of the Pale Rider. Please welcome Laurie Calcaterra. Laurie, hello.
Hi, Deece. How are you, man? Nice to see you.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Very good. Very good. I'm a little hungry right now, but other than that, I'm great.
I thought you were going to say hungover.
Oh, no, I'm not hungover. Although I am sleep deprived, but it's all right.
You have a new background. This looks like almost your real house instead of
it's actually reality. I know.
There's no piano and vaulted ceilings.
I know. And that one was great because if I didn't move very much, people thought like, indie comics was paying for a grand piano in my house, which of course we know That's not reality.
Yeah, it doesn't work quite that way. So almost, right? Just a baby grand, not a full.
I was like, yeah, stick around. Elton John's going to be here later. He's going to
Yeah,
play rock.
we got upright piano money right now. We're waiting for the
We have like keyboard, guitar.
yeah, like 80 Casio keyboard.
Yeah.
Gently used on the secondary market.
No strap included.
Oh yeah, if you're really cool playing it with the strap, God. Well, welcome back to the show. How have you been?
I've been great. I've been busy. You know how it goes. It's like life is circular but ever changing. So kids stuff, they're off for the summer right now. We have gotten to the point where everybody is sick of each other's face, living in the same house. So we got maybe like 3 weeks left before they go back to school, which will be great. They'll be ready.
Is summer already almost over for kids?
It is. Well, here in Texas, yeah, kids start at like, I think the first day of school is August 13th. But
God damn, that's crazy. That seems like prime summer.
But it's not here. I mean, like, it's 106. They're not going outside.
Yeah, well, I do, but I'm crazy. So I went hiking the other day. It was like 101, and I'm like, I'm going to go hiking for 5 miles.
Why?
Because I love this. I'm like a reptile, basically. I'm in Anunnaki.
You must be.
I just want to. Yeah, I like sleep on a heat rock.
You're one of those. I get it.
Eat crickets.
Yeah, that's gross. That's gross. But yeah, it's like they're ready to go back to school at that point. They've been out since June. So I know they end in May. God, they end in May here. I'm originally from Michigan, and in Michigan, it's like your kids go back to school in September, like the week of Labor Day, like either right before or right after Labor Day, depending on how pissed off they want the parents to be. And then they get out in like mid-June. And so here in Texas, it was a change where it's like, okay, we're going to start, early August, but then you're done, mid-May. So there's less snow days here, so it works out. But anyway, so they're ready to go back.
There might be some tornado days or flood days, depending on how
Yeah. The snow day is like, here's the thing. It's snow day. You can't go to school. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, it depends on what the Zionists do with their weather lasers this year.
Stop shooting the clouds, please.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
So, well, you've been working on your book. You got Path the Pale Rider #7 coming out. Kickstarter. Sounds like it fully funded in 3 days, which is awesome. Congratulations.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But this is one of those issues that I've been talking about since the beginning, where I'm like, it's crazy, but wait until you see what happens in 7. And so it's so great to finally be here. It's like you have to enjoy the journey. You have to enjoy all the things that lead up to this moment. So there's the big payoff. But it's like, I'm so excited to finally let people in on this secret that I've been sitting on for 2 years. And it's like, oh gosh, it's finally we can talk about this.
It feels good. You got a couple more months until it in people's hands and you can really talk.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've just been like, I'm gonna drink your tears. Can't wait. Like, but we'll get there eventually. So, but yes.
Now how I assume you're taking a break now to give it a little breather until are you jumping right into number 8?
Oh no, we'll be fucking life happens. And so when you have a team of people, you all have to be prepared to go into the next issue together. And so when shit happens with someone's dad or this, that, and the other, and it's like, I feel like this year has been really tough on my team, and I've kind of skirted underneath all the trauma that they've gone through. But so I don't think we're going to do another book before the end of the year. I don't want to launch a campaign in November and make everybody work through the holidays. That would suck. And so we'll probably finish up this one in the fall, and then we'll have just time to plan what happens next. And we'll probably launch again in the spring. And the only reason, again, that I'm doing that is to just give everybody a break because life has been piling on on my team, and they don't need to be working over Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know what I mean? Gilbert Perez and Matt Chambers and Rachel Bullock are wonderful people, and I'm not that boss that's like, get the fuck to work. It's Christmas and I don't care. McScrooge, whatever.
Well, to be fair, most people can't afford Christmas these days. So, it's like, it's probably give them something to do. At least they're working. So,
be said for that.
What's that?
I said there's something to be said for that. Maybe they want to do some things, but we can always get a jump start on issue 8. Like if they're like, hey, Laurie, they'll be like, if I got money, like let's just make some pages, and that way there's less to do when we get there,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's trying to it is tough when you're coordinating because it's not just you. Like I was at this convention last weekend, and there's a younger girl who is cute. Her dad brought her up to the table and wanted to ask questions about doing a comic book, and so it's not as he's asking, I realize he's asking for her. So and she was probably, I don't know, I'm bad at gauging ages. I would guess she was probably 12. So I just kind of start engaging her, treating her like a person and telling her, and I'm like, well, what do you do? And do you have anything on your iPad there? And I go, oh, so you write and draw. Okay. And I go, honestly, you've got it so good because you don't need anyone else. Like
right.
if you can write and draw and color this thing, and if you've got so you could probably letter it too, I'm sure, at least to an extent. I'm like, you're golden. You're 10 steps ahead of everyone.
Right. Then you can set your own schedule. You know what I mean? Like you're not, because as a creator, from the creator side, like I'm the writer and I need to pay a team. And so there has to be that Kickstarter phase where we raise funds so I can pay these people what they're worth, because they're worth every penny. And so there's that hassle. If I was just doing it myself, then it's just like, I just got to pay for the print,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just a time investment at that point, which is, which you can find time to invest in yourself. But man, if you, when you got to pay the team, that's when. And
then you have to take into consideration everybody's schedule, because it's like, I'm not trying to launch a Kickstarter when everybody's at a Comic-Con, and I'm not trying to have a deadline when I know like so-and-so's getting married. You know what I mean? Like that's just inconsiderate. And so you have to kind of pool like, okay, what does everybody's schedule look like? Here's what I'm thinking. Is there any major, things going on this wouldn't work? And so things get pushed or, because of the team schedule. You just have to do that. That's part of being a team. And so like, I would love to do 4 books a year, once a quarter, but it ain't going to happen. There's just too many moving parts. So as much as I would love to get out another issue this year, it's just not going to happen. But when we do 8, there's a break for everybody, because then we're going to do our next trade paperback, which is super exciting. And so that kind of gives everybody a little bit of a breather to do their other projects and prep for cons and do all that stuff. And I'm the only one that has to work my butt off to get funding.
So how many issues are you putting into the next trade? What do you do?
So I'm doing a trade every 4 issues.
Okay.
So it's 4, 4, and 4. The arc is 12. And then once that's done, I'll do it as a whole volume of, it's just the one story altogether. So that's the plan, at least. I would love to do it quicker. Like right now it's 12 issues of like average 24 pages. Issue 4 is 28 pages because I combined a couple things. But I mean, if the Kickstarters start taking off more, like even more than they are now, I could start doing like 2 issues at a time. So maybe we call it 6 issues instead of 12, but it's the same story. We're just telling it in different chunks.
Right.
And so you'll still get the same, amount of story in like the second arc, and maybe we could just separate a little differently, but we'll see. It's just all, we're pretty fluid, and it just depends on how things, fall into place. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is a nice thing about doing, being your own boss in this thing is like I think every issue of my book has been a different page count, like, I mean, I think the first issue was 28, then it was like 24, the next one's like 32. And it's like, I just do what I need to do to tell the story. Like I don't have I don't have to leave room for advertising. I don't have to do we can't do more than this pages. Otherwise it's like, no, you put in what you think you need to put in to tell that story.
Exactly. And so, hey, it's like, if you can get, a big chunk of money and we can bust out 2 issues and put it in one book, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to get the story out quicker. But again, it's just like everything, it just depends on what's going on in life and the world. So,
yeah. Well, for people who, for any listeners who maybe aren't familiar with it, how about a quick elevator pitch on the book?
Gotcha. Well, Path of the Pale Rider. Let me see. Let me go back. It is, if you like things like Fallout, Book of Eli, spaghetti westerns, Walking Dead with like a sprinkle of Cocaine Bear on top, that's what we are. It is a Western apocalypse series where death is broken. So I always call us zombie adjacent. We have undead, but they're not the flesh craving, brain eating undead. It's death is broken. So your body can die, but your soul doesn't leave your body upon death.
Okay.
And it's people, animals, insects, and fish. So it's broken for everything and everybody. And when you start really thinking about how that would work, like what would you eat? Where do people go? How do the undead act? Because in the beginning, they might just act like themselves, but as their brain rots, they can get forgetful or violent or vegetative. It generates like 5,000 questions about how this world works.
Yeah.
And that's really the fun part about it, because then you're like, what would happen with pesticides? And what would the government do? And where do we put kids? And if we don't have the magic bullet to the brain, what happens? Like what happens if people get burnt to ash?
Yeah. Yeah. All this and more is explored in the first 7 issues. Do we find out?
Well, we're getting there. I answered all the questions eventually, but this is a big story, so it's going to take a while to like answer the question, like what happens if you get burnt to a crisp. But like, we start the story 10 years into the apocalypse. We're following this guy who is a cowboy because things have devolved back to the Wild West. And he's the last guy still looking for the answer of what the heck happened and can we fix it? So there's a lot of conspiracy theory. There's a lot of, muddling through humanity, because everybody would have a different approach of how to handle this. And so you're going to see a lot of different groups. You're going to see him encounter people that you don't know if you can trust. You're going to see morally gray people and bad guys that you might relate to because they're just trying to protect their own people. It's wild. We have zombie bear chases and towns burning down because someone lit a swarm of undead bugs on fire, and it's wild. So it's a fun ride, and you can definitely, when you go to things like our Kickstarter page, you can see that we are having fun. We have this dark sense of humor, so we might sorry everybody, we might shoot a puppy and then laugh about it.
So things happen sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, things happen, but it's like the puppy is still around because nothing dies. So welcome to the world of Sad Pancake, who is a forever puppy and people love him. So it's just, we're funny and dark, but we have a fun time doing it.
So do you have like the end already in mind? You know how this whole thing ends. There is an end for it.
There is an end. I haven't written it down, but there is an end. Okay. And to me, I hate fluff. I don't know about you, but I watch a lot of movies. I've watched a lot of TV shows, and it would be, to me, it's the difference between like Breaking Bad and Lost.
Yeah.
Those 2 TV shows where one clearly had an ending in mind from the beginning, and you're following that character arc, and you see like Walter White develop and, his morals and how he changes, but ultimately everything leads to that finale. And in Lost, where it's like they really had no idea where they were going, and it's just like wishy-washy, and we're going to take you here, but we're not going to open the hatch for 12 weeks. And it's like, why are we at a zoo? And then, it was all a dream, or I think we're dead, or we're not really going to explain it. Like nobody really liked that ending. And so for me, I hate fluff. So every episode I'm doing is very concise and it is purposeful. So you're going to read the series and you're going to see things in issue 1 that are going to come to fruition in issue 8.
Yeah.
You're going to see things happening in issue 3 and 4. There's characters moving in the background that will be fleshed out in issue 13. And once you realize what this person is doing, those scenes in issue 3 and 4 take on a whole new meaning because you know who that is.
Yeah.
So it's I spent a lot of time building this world and thinking through the story and writing and rewriting and putting in foreshadowing. So you're going to get all that fan payoff and connection when you read the story. And my God, you're going to be mad at me in issue 7.
Well, it's funny. So I will say that I agree with you so much. Like, it's so important to be just to cut the fat, in everything.
Yeah.
But quick sidebar. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but like with Lost, they originally pitched it as like, it was like a 3-season show and they had an ending. They had a whole arc. But then what happened is it got so wildly popular that ABC's like, we got to keep this fucking show cow moving, Yep. We got to fucking milk this thing. And they kept, so the writers started, just kind of thinking out, making shit up. And eventually they completely lost the plot and it became it just spirals out of control,
Right. And that's one of the problems I think with television.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
even when they're going along, and I'm sure the writers had a different, like Dexter probably had a different ending until the network was like, hey, wrap it up. You're ending in 3 weeks. And they're like, what? No, like we had a whole other thing. And they were like, nope, you get 3 episodes to wrap it up, guys. And that's when you get bullshit TV where it's like, none of this makes any sense. And it's just part of the game that you play. So when you get series like Breaking Bad, and I was like, how did they do that? Did they have an ending and they stuck to their guns? Or like, how was it that this one was so well crafted when everything else is like, hey, the network has a say in how you tell your story,
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Hollywood, I mean, it's so it's so challenging. I think with maybe something like Breaking Bad is you can maybe have like strong producers and writers with enough clout to be like, hey, we can keep doing this our way, or we can just not do it. It was some artistic integrity with the producers, which is few and far between with those spineless fucks in Hollywood.
Yep.
But
and don't forget the pedophiles, right?
Yes,
they're there.
Yes, also the pedophiles, many of them. Yeah, in between diddling kids and roofing young starlets, you gotta have a little bit of integrity artistically. So it shines somewhere. But I think that message is so important that it's part of the reason that, especially as I get older and still do consume comic books in format, even, shows, I don't really watch that much TV and stuff. It's part of the reason I love movies more than anything is because they're finite. Like there's a beginning, there's a middle and an end. It's not this long drawn out, like, well, we need to do 20 episodes this season. And then if it does well, we'll do another season. We just, you end up with so much fluff, right? It's like, no, I'd rather watch 8 episodes that are all bangers. Like I'm riveted the entire time instead of draw this out over 4 seasons so you can get a little more revenue, because eventually I'll watch half a season, then I'll just stop watching.
Yes. And I was going to say Walking Dead is a prime example of this. Because remember, they used to split their season up into like first half, second half. Mm-hmm. And then so like the bangers were 4 episodes. It was like season opening, big moment. We burned shit up and like there's big mobs and we spent all its big production value.
Yep.
And then it was like, how long was their series? It was like 12 or 13 episodes. And it was like 6 episodes of fluff.
Right.
And then the mid-season finale where it's like, oh, we're burning more shit down. And then we take a break for 3 months.
Right.
Right. And that's like, okay, this is where I don't pick it up again.
Yeah. You're just giving people an opportunity to not to just jump off, And like it's funny because I made a joke about the other day about how, like, how long did it take for you to just
Yes.
realize it was a bad show?
Walking Dead
Because
was a bad show. Thank you. I saw that and I was like, should I say something?
well, we all watched it for longer than we should have, but
Longer.
eventually at some point I stopped around season 5 and was like, oh, I don't like this show for like 3 seasons. What am I doing?
Yeah,
You
I'm
know?
with you. I probably watched way more than what I thought, and at some point, I think it was with the Whisperers, and I was just like, all right,
I
I'm
gotta
done. And
go.
it's like I waited until it was on Netflix, and then I went back and I watched it and still wasn't fulfilled, but it's like I had to finish it and say that I finished it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I have
right.
not watched Those That Live, They That Lived, Those That Lived, whatever.
There's 6 spin-off shows.
I watched the first season of the Daryl Dixon one and was like, I don't care. I was like, ooh, Hogwarts. And then I stopped watching.
Okay.
Because the female lead, they're in France, and it was the girl that was actually in Goblet of Fire. She played Fleur de la Cour.
I don't know. I
You
hear
haven't watched Harry Potter? Okay, so she's a Harry Potter, one of the main actresses from that whatever movie. And I was like, is that who that is? And then they actually filmed at the castle that they use for parts of Hogwarts. So I was like, this is so bizarre. I'm like, are we watching Harry Potter or are we watching Walking Dead? Like, why is Daryl Dixon in Hogwarts right now with Fleur de la Cour? So it was just very odd. And then I was like, okay, that's enough of that. I stopped watching Fear the Walking Dead, like, because they were like, look at all these characters, and then they killed a bunch of them, and I was like, and I don't care.
Yeah, it turns out I'm over it.
Yeah. So if there's more spinoffs than that, I haven't seen them.
Oh, there's like 6 other ones. There's like Those Who Lived. There's Tales of the Walking Dead. There's Dead City, which is like Maggie and Negan.
Maggie and Negan. Haven't watched it.
There's a couple other ones too, and but prime examples of these things where I mean, in a ton of for those comic book readers out there too. I mean, it's like, anytime someone is like, oh well, I can't believe they're doing this with Spider-Man, you're like, he's been in 8 monthly books for the last 65 years. You can't believe that they're doing something. Like, of course, there's something crazy they're doing. It's the only way. It's either rehash old shit or do something crazy,
It's like there's nothing else. They've done everything else, so they have to do this. Like Spider-Man versus paper cuts. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just so I love the like finite, whether, and it doesn't have to be short. I mean, you can do, you look at someone like Brian K. Vaughan, who, like writes like Why the Last Man. It's like 62 issues or something like that, which is like fine. He didn't have 62 issues in mind, but he had an ending and he kind of knew that we're working towards that. Eventually. It'll be 50, it'll be 75, somewhere in there,
Yeah.
But it makes you make things matter,
Yeah. But here's my other beef I have, because those are the ones that I like to read. Why the Last Man Standing, Invincible, screw the TV show, but The Walking Dead, when, The Boys. These are all comic book series that are long running. But you as a creator, if you pitch a long running series right now to Image or Vertigo or any of these other publishers, you won't even get a look. They want 6 issues and done. So it's like, why can't we as creators write long-term stuff and get eyes on our project anymore?
Yeah, I think it's just it's the commitment thing, It's like they don't want to commit to publishing something. Like, they want something that's 6 issues, but also that you can write more of if it goes well.
I guess. Yeah, like, that's the thing. But
like, they want to know it works, and then they're happy to invest in more, like give you a little more line, but they're not going to give you a lot of line out the bat because it's the
too risky.
It's too tenuous to even try to recoup any money. I mean, I know a guy who I won't say his name, but he worked for Image for years, very early on. He was one of the first non-founders that worked for Image. And he's been in the industry for that long, right? I mean, that's 35 years. Consistently working, and he's had creator-owned books there, and he always, Eric Stevenson, the publisher at Image, is always like, you always got a home here. Anytime you want, come, we're happy to do stuff with you. He said that he's like, I can't get things looked at. I can't get anything done there.
That's crazy.
So anytime someone like a new creator's like, oh, I was going to pitch to Image, I'm like, don't even waste your time.
I mean, I've pitched Image in, I don't know, maybe a handful of times, and I've pitched to all the other ones that people recommend, and I don't even get a rejection letter. I don't get any response.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's like, it's not even, I try to tell you, like, it's not even indicative of you or your story. Mm-mm. It's just that you're not competing against other creator-owned stories from other random people. You're competing against whatever Scott Snyder is asking them to do.
Yes.
Or James Tinian. It's like, of course they're going to go with the 13th Tinian project that sells, like, why,
exactly.
So it's just, it's tough, but also it makes it good because you can go do it and do it yourself.
Right. Well, and that's part of it's putting in your time. It's embracing the suck. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be all fun and games. I've seen so many first-time creators that are like, I did a Kickstarter and I got 5 backers. And I was just like, did you do some research? Like, did you do your marketing? Did you go look at other Kickstarters? Like, what podcasts are you on? What kind of, and they're like, I didn't do any of that. It's like, do you need to do some research? Just because you launch something on Kickstarter does not mean people just find you. There's hundreds of things on there that are live all at one time. And so you really got to learn the game, but you put in your time. But that's the one thing that I really like, is that this story is mine. There is no bureaucrat. There is no red tape. There is no executives that disagree with each other about where my story needs to go. I get to flesh out my characters as I see them. And then eventually, if, Netflix wants to pay me $12 million to redo, fine, that's fine. But at least the source material is there, so that people know my characters before, like, Game of Thrones, directors go in and change characters until they're so flawed that everybody's pissed off. So I mean, there is that joy to it.
Listen, I want my art to be the way I want it to be until they back a Brinks truck up to my door, and then I will sell out artistically in a heartbeat. So yeah. I mean, that is the benefit, because I mean, I know when I first started pursuing this, Kill Stan, I was working with a publisher. I had a publisher offer me an opportunity to do it with them, but it was going to the things they wanted to change on the book. I was like, I don't want to do that.
They changed everything.
Yeah, it's like they want to change the name. They wanted the art style to be different. They wanted it to be a 4-issue miniseries. I'm like, which again, as we talked about, it's the investment thing. But I'm like, I can't tell this story in 4 issues. This story in 4 issues isn't a story. It's just a fluff piece then, and I'd rather just not tell it than tell it poorly.
Yeah, what's the point then?
So yeah, it is. So, to be able to do it the way you want it and actually have it, come out with the way it's meant to be.
Agreed, 100%. And that I think is one of the benefits of having crowdfunding. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's direct to consumer. You guys are getting what I intend it to be, what my team, Gilbert and Matt and Rachel intend it to be, because the 4 of us, work together to make it the best version of what we see fit. And so you're getting that directly with the dollars that you spend. It doesn't get funneled through a third party. So that's, without crowdfunding, I wouldn't be able to afford all of this. So thank goodness for that. It's a double-edged sword, because crowdfunding is great and it's accessible to everybody, but because it's accessible for everybody, you have to be loud and you have to set yourself apart in order for people to find you. Because now everybody has access to this tool, and there's some good indie and there's some bad indie. It's just the nature of the business. So you got to find the good stuff.
Yeah. It is tough. But I mean, I think people, people gravitate to, they find stuff. And especially like you're active at conventions and stuff, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, to me, the best way to grow, independent stuff is just be really active at conventions,
Mm-hmm. Which is also hard because you have to put out capital in advance, like because you're booking these tables maybe 6 to 11 months, 12 months in advance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you're locking down your capital that you also need to pay artists and print books. And so it's like it's just this wonderful balancing act of what can I, how many cons can I go to? I need to plan around this. Will I have enough funds? And then because you can go to the con and have no books, and that's not going to do you any good.
Yeah, you gotta be able to have a product there. Yeah, it is a weird balance game of trying to figure out where to spend and when. Of like, okay, so I've got thousands wrapped up in conventions that I won't pay back for months.
Months.
We've got you can have potentially thousands in books, which I will sell at those conventions eventually. And you're like,
right?
It's like, so you take really, you have to, and also, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm like, part of my thing is like, I don't want to store hundreds and hundreds of copies of my book at my house either. I don't want to have
a man with shelves of long boxes behind
this
him.
is why I don't want to, because I already have. I'm like, I don't have room to put another. I mean, I've got like, right now I've got like 2 long boxes of my books in my house. Well, one of number 1 and one of number 2. And like, I try to reorder regularly, but it's like, yeah, it'd be nice to just do one order every couple, once every quarter or twice a year. But it's like, do you want to store thousands of copies?
Where do you put them all?
Yeah.
Yep. I think the biggest shipment that I got was when I ordered the trade paperbacks, because again, it's like you're ordering that in mass.
Yeah.
And those will be good. It's like ordering issue 1s. Those will always be good.
Right.
And so I never hesitate to order like a large batch. But when the trade paperbacks showed up in like a pallet, my husband's like, "Oh, where are you putting those?" And I was like, "That's a great question."
Yeah. Oh, that's
kind of all over wherever I can stash them.
Right. Yeah, they're in the bathroom. They're holding up the counter. There's under the loose stool.
Kitchen, dining room, closet, bedroom. Yeah, they're just part of the decor now. You put a tablecloth over it, dress it up as a ghost for Halloween.
Yeah, it is an interesting balancing act to figure out how to do it all. So, do you have any conventions coming up you're doing?
Yes. This coming weekend, I'm going to be, which is, I'll say the date because I'm not sure when this is airing, July 26th and 27th. I'm going to be in Irving, Texas for Texas Frightmare. So it's actually a Halloween-based Comic-Con in the middle of July. Well, end of July. But it'll be my first time doing a horror con. So specifically horror and Halloween themed. So I think I'll fit right in with the zombie adjacent, undeath zombie bear. I think we'll do fine there. And then the following week, I don't know if we're going to the same NTX, but there's an NTX on August the 2nd.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. The one with Jim Lee.
Yes, it's August the 2nd. So don't show up on the 10th. It'll be over.
I was going to ask you were going to that one because you were at the last one. To be honest, I almost didn't. I wouldn't have gone to this one if Jim Lee wasn't going to be there.
Right. Well, I think there's something to be said about building the audience, because NTX has always been like collecting cards, Pokemon cards, baseball cards, basketball cards. I didn't see any Magic cards. Maybe people have outgrown those, but it was mostly like card collecting.
Yeah, like
right?
Mostly sports cards. That I saw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they kind of had this section was like, oh yeah, comic creators are here too.
In the back. They're in the.
And so people were like,
by the kitchen, go take a left down by the
Mhm.
bathroom, and then
Yeah, by the bathroom where the stank is. But we were there and people were kind of like, oh, and so we sold some books, but I don't think anybody had like a spectacular day, but it was like, this is what you can expect going forward.
yeah,
So maybe this next show, and again, they're bringing in Jim Lee. And so I think the comic crowd will find us and then maybe the next one, there'll be more. And
yeah,
so we'll see how it goes. And it's one of those, like, you take a chance going to a brand new con to see, who will show up.
yeah.
But I'll be there. I'm going to be on the back wall this time, but I'm going to be next to Marco DeFeo and then Vaughn Fox from Hourglass Comics, who does Murderface. So I'll be there with those guys and we'll just have a party. I'm sure you'll be right around the corner. We'll just we'll have a party together.
Yeah, it'll be all right. I mean, I did fine the first, but really it was part of it is I have my cousin lives like 10 minutes from there, so I mean I got a place to stay and it's easy.
That's awesome.
But it's like, yeah, if I figured with Jim Lee being there, hopefully that draw a big comic book crowd. But also you run the risk of people being there just to go see Jim Lee and get their book signed and then being
spend their money there and be like, oh, you have really cool stuff, but I don't have any money left.
Yeah. So, but I will trade you a bunch of my books for a Jim Lee signature, guys. So if you're listening to this and
like, what you got there? Is this thing? Oh, look, I will give you 25 books. No.
So yeah, that I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was, one day, kind of easy in and out. But again, first time show. So
yeah, I mean, that was to be expected. And again, like, people went there. And I mean, like, I post where I'm going on social media all the time. Like, I'm pretty active on, the socials. Like, here's where I'm going to be. Come see me on my table, such and such. Come see me. But I still had people that knew me that were there and were like, I had no idea you were going to be here. Like, I had no idea there was going to be comic books here. And I was just like, oh, well, surprise,
Yeah. I have, I have this little problem where, for those of you, I think everyone knows, everyone who listens to the show definitely knows, my actual job is stand-up comedy, which means I am a professional shit talker, right? Which also means that I say outlandish things on social media sometimes.
Yes.
Which also means that the meta overlords do not like me.
This is true. They probably your algorithm is suppressed.
I have been, so this is, I mean, I know that I'm shadow banned regularly. One time especially, I ran an ad for a show, like a event I was doing. I don't remember where, but some show I was doing. I ran an ad, put a couple $100 into it.
Oh no!
And ticket sales were real low. And I'm like, what is going on with this? So I checked the ad. They were taking my money, but it literally had 0 views. My ad literally had 0 views. It ran for over 2 weeks, like $200, $300, whatever I put into it, 0 views. It got to 0 people. And I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Wow.
My problem is that, like, my window of who I get to is very, very low. And so I need to remember that when, certain times a year, I've got to, like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, that's when you, like, write it in the notebook, like, this is gold. I'll use this later.
Yeah. So
but I have to vouch for you, man. It is it's so fun to table next to you and hear all your little quips as people walk by. Like, you're super fun. I had a blast when we first met. We were like, hey, we're like ended up next to each other at Fan Fest, and I just had a blast listening to you. And I was like stealing your people when you were done with them. I was like, haha, you're like, you bought his stuff, you're buying mine too. I had a good time. So
it is nice when you have someone next to you who's also active, so you can kind of like
play off the
co-op,
other,
which is nice, when
You're
you're
like,
so, when
you
you're
don't like my comic? Great, you're gonna hate his. Like, go check it out.
yeah, the worst is getting. I mean, I've been between people where they're just like, I mean, no light. They might as well be dead. And then you kind of like trying to pull people in, and they're like, I don't like the energy coming from this side of the room.
Oh
Like,
no.
oh boy. Oh.
Why do people show up to cons if they're just gonna sit there? That's my
Oh man, I don't know. It is one. I mean, I hate to be like a carnival barker, but also you kind of have to a little bit.
Oh, Carnival Barker works great for me. I put
Yeah.
on a Louisiana accent and a cowboy hat, and I'm just obnoxious. And that was the best day of sales I've ever had.
It works. It works. I mean, people are attracted to the liveliness. I mean, if you're just sitting there, no energy, like no one's gonna just wander up to your table. I mean, some people, but ostensibly no people are gonna wander up and be like, "Hey, just what do you sell me this, or what do you got?"
Yeah, right. Sell me. Like, I have $50 in my hand.
Right.
Show me what you have for sale. Like, that doesn't happen. I'm always like, hey, you want to try some hot sauce? Like fiending like a crack fiend. Like, hey, hot sauce. I got hot sauce over here.
Hey, anything to get them over there and
Yeah.
get them looking at what you're doing. So,
I haven't tried flashing people. That might be next.
there you go. That's could work. You never know until you try.
I could try it. Someone else suggested lighting your table on fire for attention. And I might do that too.
I don't know how long conventions will let you stay after that. The kid-friendly ones might be
a little upset when I'm like watching it burn. Yeah.
I have to tell you this story. I was at a convention the other weekend, and I ended up right next to the small convention. It was fine. It wasn't great. I didn't love it. But I ended up at the end of a row next to where the panels were. Right beside me was the stage and the panels. And they had both days, they had these two girls who I couldn't tell you how old they were, but I would guess they're not allowed to legally vote. In fact, there's a chance they might not be allowed to legally get a driver's permit.
Oh, no.
And they were doing like this for like 2 hours each day. They were doing this very uncomfortable and loud like K-pop dancing. And I mean, I've seen these same moves at strip clubs in Tijuana. And I'm like, this is crazy that these girls, like, I don't know where their parents are, but like they're up there just I mean, and I'm like, I don't want to like act like I'm mad at this, but I also don't want to be too supportive of this.
Right. No, we can't. That's a bad image, because if they're like 16, that's a problem.
Yeah, like this is crazy. But I mean, it was very, very uncomfortable the day, and I'm a pretty open guy, but I'm like, I would never let my daughter dance like this in front of a crowd of people at a convention.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, the body rolls and the rubbing their body and shaking their everything. I'm like,
all right, I'm not going to do that, Deece. I'm a little too, I'm way too old for that. I'm rocking the mom body because I've had a few kids, right? That would just be the most bizarre display of hot sauce and comics. Hey, people would leave. People would leave the con. I think it would work to my detriment. Like,
you never know. Everyone's got a thing, Laurie.
I learned this the hard way, because with martial arts, I used to have people sign up for my class just to be beat up by the lady. And I was just like, you need to leave.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what we're here for.
They're one step away from a dominatrix right there. They're like,
exactly. That's what they're just like, you can do that again. And I was like, you should go sit down.
yeah. Can you do that harder? And now spit on me and tell me you hate me.
They're like, is this a jujitsu move? Is that why you're sitting on me? And I was just like, I'm gonna elbow you in the face is what's gonna happen.
Let's see. I'm trying to think.
You're like, on that note.
This could go sideways very quickly.
Hey man, we're raccoons. We like tiny
books.
What now?
I'm trying to see where we're at too. Okay, let's what we're gonna do, we've got about 10 minutes left, so we're gonna go to a segment that I'm trying to bring back in the show. It's called the Rundown. I used to do this with all my first-time guests. This isn't your first time on the show, but we haven't done this with you before.
First time for me.
One of the reasons I wanted to do this with you, because I felt like it was a pertinent question given your premise of your comic book of the Path of the Pale Rider. And so this is a series of questions we ask people. They don't mean a lot individually, but when you kind of put them together, they start to paint a picture of someone as a whole. You know, it's like a Briggs-Myers test.
All right. Yeah. Rorschach, we're going to get the big picture here.
So the first question, just a bunch of random questions. First one I'll ask because it pertains to your book. How long do you think you would survive in a zombie apocalypse? Like Walking Dead style apocalypse?
Okay. I was like, which one?
Yeah. For context, because like Walking Dead is the easiest one for people to wrap their head around. It's like Walking Dead style.
Yeah. I would survive a long time in Walking Dead world because I have the martial arts skills. I have the survival skills. Like I can garden, but I can also make clothes and I can stab you in the face. So I kind of check all the boxes there. The hardest part would be surviving the other people, but I can be vicious with them too. So I think I would survive Walking Dead really well. As long as I have food to eat, I'm happy.
You got to find food. Can you hunt?
Yes.
Okay. You know how to dress an animal.
Very carefully. I would probably make a few mistakes, but I probably could figure it out.
You can figure it out.
You gotta drain all the blood first, and then you gotta piece them up and you skin them and blah blah.
And there you go. All right, so Laurie would survive the zombie apocalypse pretty well. Okay, what is the worst gift you ever received?
Monopoly. The board game.
Monopoly, the board game. Yeah, that's just like that's just like a sentence to spend 8 hours with your family and have everyone hate each other at the end.
Everybody, like in my experience, someone usually ends up flipping the board.
Right. Yeah. Eventually, because you get 7 hours in, and you're like, I think you're cheating, Grandma.
I hate you. Yeah. That's where it goes. So.
You know, they made like a version where it goes faster. Like it's like a accelerated fast. It's supposed to take like, half an hour. And I'm like, just stop selling the other version. No one wants the original version now.
The quickest version ever is just don't play.
Yeah, there you go. The best version of Monopoly is the one you never open.
The one you never open. I like it.
If they made a movie about your life, who would play you in a movie?
Salma Hayek or a younger Carrie-Anne Moss, I want to say.
Okay, all right.
Salma Hayek. We'll go with Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek. That's not a bad choice. Mm-hmm. If you had to kill one endangered animal, any endangered animal, but it would now
pandas.
Oh, that was very fast. Why pandas?
Because they deserve it. Like if you can't reproduce to save your own your own species, then F you. You're just taking up space. Goodbye.
Yeah, we don't need you. If you're not trying, we're not trying for you.
Like, can we eat you? Do you provide warmth or, you know what I mean? Like milk or like wool? No. Why are we keeping you alive? Get out. Your time is over.
Yeah, they're like in zoos, they like show pandas, like panda porn and stuff like that. They show them videos of other pandas having sex. They actually do that.
Try and get them to reproduce.
Yeah, I'd be like, look, you can. Yeah.
I mean, have you watched pandas on they have like panda TikToks where it's just pandas and they just they're idiots. They fall off of everything. They're like, they have no reason to be around anymore. What are they doing?
Yeah, that Kung Fu Panda movie's a lie. Those motherfuckers are not graceful at all.
No, they literally roll places.
Yeah. All right. If you wrote an autobiography about your life, what would it be called?
Eat good food before you die.
Eat good food before you die. What's your favorite food?
I got lots. I love to cook. I love to bake. I'm never going to be skinny. for this reason. But I need a good steak on my birthday with some sauteed mushrooms and thyme, a side of asparagus cooked to perfection, and then some either crispy potatoes or something. That's a great birthday dinner right there for me.
Two
Side of cheese.
questions. Well, three questions. What cut of meat for your steak?
I could go really any way. Like I love getting the big tomahawk steaks because it's just so much fun to cook them and also like feeds a ton of people. I like a good ribeye. I could do a really good cut of prime rib if we got like horseradish sauce or an au jus going. But you gotta like I've done those before and they're tricky because it's a big cut of meat and
Yeah,
you gotta do the herbs in the right place and they like the fat cap and blah blah. It cooks different times. So there's that. And so it's like you can go any which way, but really I just love a good filet. Like if I can get a filet cooked and I gotta see, here's the problem, Deece. When you know how to cook like I do, you seldom go out to dinner for your own birthday. You end up making your own fucking dinner because you go out to places and the food comes wrong or it's not cooked the way you want it. And it's like, I paid for this on my birthday when I can make it better. So it's like I end up cooking my own meal. No, that's not true. A lot of times I will ask my sister to come cook me dinner and she agrees because I buy all the stuff and she just has to come cook it.
Yeah, that's part of my problem is why I don't got to eat a lot, but I also go to the same place or get the same thing. So I find something I like. I'm like, I'm going to go enjoy this. I'm not going to risk getting something I don't like. Yeah, I love to cook and I can cook well. So I'm like, I can do this better or I can do this, cheaper and better too, especially for the cost of it.
Exactly. I was like, I spent $100 on this plate and I'm not satisfied with it. So it's like, I'm going to go pick up my own cut. You can go to the butcher. It's Texas. Like we got beef here. You go to the butcher and be like, that's the cut I want. And then you put together your own your spice profile and, you make your own sauce and you saute your own mushrooms so they're not overdone or underdone. It just tastes so much better. But it's like, I don't want to do it on my birthday. So I'm like, sister, I was like, come cook me steak.
How do you take your steak?
Medium rare.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you said asparagus to perfection. What is perfection in asparagus?
So it can't be mushy. It needs to, okay. So how I make asparagus is first I will steam it. You can blanch it, but I usually steam it. I'll put it in like a casserole dish or a baking dish, lightly covered, like small cover, not sealed, with some water in the bottom. And I'll steam it, microwave it for like 2 minutes. And then I'll dump the water, put in olive oil, and I'll season it and then roast it. Garlic, butter, some lemon juice, however the seasoning you want. But so it has still a little bit of a bite. You can cut it, but it's not crunchy. You never want to crunch into an asparagus, but that mushy asparagus is the worst too. It's gross.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like you gotta finesse it, right?
I like to give them a little fry in a pan with some olive oil because then it gets a little crisp on the edges.
Yeah.
On the outside of the top of those bristles get a little crisp on them.
I do that I'll roast in the oven and then broil it at the end.
There you go. Yeah.
For like just a few minutes. So same thing. I like that, crunchy, not crunchy, but like the broiled texture, the brown texture. It's really good.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry, man.
All right. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Do you have any ghost stories?
I do, but I'm not going to share them.
Okay. It's mysterious.
Yeah, it's a little personal, but yes, yes, I do believe in it.
What is the most dangerous animal? And I don't mean not like a rattlesnake, not like a spider, like a substantial animal. What is the most dangerous animal you think you could take in a fight to the death with your bare hands?
Oh, Nike. I had a different answer until I heard that last part. Animal I could take with my bare hands?
Yeah. Fight to the death.
I don't know, man. Depends on the animal. Like I could like snakes and stuff I could pick up by a tail and like bash it into the ground.
Yeah.
How do you, I'm like, I mean, if it's small enough, you can wring its neck, but like, even with a dog, like that's hard when they're trying to kill you too, especially when they got that bite force. I don't think I could take a dog, maybe a cat.
Cat, a house cat.
But probably, I could probably kill a house cat. Like if you could kick it and you can, but like dog, I don't think I could take a dog, honestly, unless I had a weapon. If I have a weapon, I can take a lot of animals, right?
Yeah.
Because I can keep that distance. So it's a little bit of ways and I could hit it repeatedly. But if I had to do it with my bare hands, it's just like, oh no. We're sticking to house cats and smaller. I don't even know about a raccoon. They got thumbs, you know?
I think human hands.
Yeah, scary.
Which I always say that's why you should let them touch you. God wouldn't have given them human hands if he didn't want them to touch you. That's my rule with raccoons.
My husband's like, we should get a raccoon as a pet. I'm like, that sounds like a disaster.
Yeah,
I'm like, they can open the pantry. No.
Yeah.
I was like, we can feed it Oreos. And I was like, this sounds like a bad plan. Sorry.
I asked someone that question one time, and they told me that they thought they could take a cougar, like a mountain lion. Like, there's no fucking way.
You can't.
There's no fucking way. If a mountain lion wants to kill you, you're
dead. Yeah, and I mean, like, when you were saying the most, lethal or terrifying, and of course, my first answer is bears. I'm terrified of bears. And then you're like, one that you could take down. I was like, it's not bears.
Not bears. Yeah.
When people are like, I could take a bear, and I was like, you're not.
No way.
No way can you take a bear. I don't care what size it is. Like you can't take a dog. If a dog wants you dead, you got no weapons. You're done.
I think you could take a dog. You would take some damage.
Maybe you could.
Yeah.
Like I don't. You see these guns?
Yeah.
No, you don't because they're not there.
Judo them, Laurie. You got to give them the hip throw, and it's a little different.
I mean, I could kick. I could keep it away for a while, but eventually that fucker bites me. I'm in big trouble. Like it's the closing the distance, and I don't have muscle. So if things are stronger than me, I can't beat it. That's the problem. And so that's why I learned how to knife fight, is so I could stab things instead of have to arm wrestle them.
There you go.
So if I have weapons, I can win because I'm proficient.
You could beat a wolf in a knife fight.
I could, yes. I could beat dogs and wolves, maybe a cougar if I have a long weapon to keep it away from me. Like I could probably do with sword or stick. I might survive. I might bleed out. We might both die. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But barehanded, it's just, I'm a realist. Like I understand because I've been in fights. Like it is not what people think. You gas out quick. And if you don't end the fight quick, you are toast.
Yeah.
Knife fight, it's like whoever dies last is the winner.
Yeah, that's it's a little rougher than most people give it credit for. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I have a few. I like Temple of the Dog.
Of the Dog. What is that?
The Hunger. It's like it's old. It's an old. It was like Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell.
Oh my God.
Hunger Strike. There was that one. I like singing Vaseline by Stone Temple Pilots. I like singing I'm Only Happy When It Rains by Garbage.
The worst part about it is like you're not wrong in this, but when you say old, I was thinking like 60s music.
No.
Like,
no.
Music
it's old now. It was cool when we were kids, but no, it's old now, buddy. I went and saw Pearl Jam in concert last year. I was like, fuck, they're old. And then I looked around, I was like, shit, we're old.
Yeah, turns out we got old.
Turns out the entire crowd is old. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's what happens. All right. Last question, because comic books, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I think I really want to turn invisible. I can escape my kids from time to time. Mom, she's not here. Sorry.
You're just sitting on the sofa.
Yeah, I'd be like, not here. Just like escape out the back door, be floating in the pool by myself.
Yeah. You just need to get a timeshare in Florida. Then you can escape them whenever you want.
Sounds like a terrible plan, Deece.
Like,
Why
I'm
would you
in
ever
Boca
tell them?
Raton.
He's like, come on, I got a timeshare you can have right now. What?
Yeah.
Stop trying to sell me your timeshare, Deece. I'm not interested.
Or just $3.99 a month. It's real. No. All right, Laurie. Well, tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find the Kickstarter, where they can find the book, social media, website, all that good stuff.
I am on all the socials, everybody. So you can look up either Laurie Calcaterra or you can look up Path of the Pale Rider, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you prefer, whatever you identify as. I'm on, I have a Blue Sky. I'm never there. I'm on Threads again. I think my Instagram pushes to Threads, so I'm not really there either. But I have a website, pathofthepalerider.com. It's just kind of a landing place where if I'm not live on Kickstarter or I turn off late pledges, you can get books there. The best place to go, my friends, is the Kickstarter, because you can get not only all of the books, you can pick up wherever you left off or get the newest thing, but that's where you get the stretch goals and the cool stuff that are exclusive. Like we do custom Funko Pops. They're only on the Kickstarter. We're building a poker deck. Those are stretch goals that everybody gets for free on the Kickstarter. So it's like you can wait until we publish the book and you can get it afterwards from the website, but you're going to miss out on all the cool extras I send everybody else. And we've already hit goal. So at this point, if you jump along on the bandwagon, you're getting a book and you're getting all the stuff that we're unlocking with it. So we have digital rewards, we have physical rewards, we have hot sauce, we got secret things that only I know about. Like there's a link in my video, Deece. So if you watch the welcome video on the Kickstarter, there is a QR code. Don't be distracted by the fake one, people. You'll know what I mean. But there is an actual QR code that if you scan it, it will take you to a reward you can only find from scanning that QR code. Oh. So we play games and we do fun stuff, and there's riddles to solve, and you could get freaking postcards in the mail from a character. Like, we play games, right? So that's the best place to go, is there. Deece mentioned I have a podcast here on the Madness Entertainment Network group. I do. It's called the Tuesday Morning Brew. It's fabulous. I interview creators like Deece and myself. I had Rob Multari on today. It's just a fun place to hang out and see what's new and popping in indie. You know, if you're tired of reboot, rehash, recycle shit, come see what's new. You can find your new favorite read on the Tuesday Morning Brew. So definitely come along. You belong.
All right. You heard it here, guys. We'll go check out Laurie, follow her on all the social media, support the Kickstarter Path of the Pale Rider, catch up on all 7 issues, get in on the secret of number 7, and follow so you can get all the info for number 8 when it comes out. And as for me, again, go to deececomedy.com, check out live dates coming up. LOL Comedy Club in San Antonio this Thursday, that's July 24th, and the Kickstarter for Kill Stand number 3 is still going for a couple weeks, so check that out too. And that's it, guys. For Laurie, I've been Deece. Thank you all very much, and we will see you all next week.